Libras, hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Y'all, I started your read last night and Jim and I took over halfway through, and I was like, dilemma. And yet, it's like, I feel like the message came through so strongly that it was like, okay, this like has to be. So sorry, I'm like, I lost my pee. So, anyways, I went ahead and posted that video because it was there for a reason. It needed to happen. It happened. Now we're going to do Libra's video, and it's actually going to be Libra's video. So, Libs, y'all got the temple in the desert, Kairos, the maiden, the forest, and the mystic. Same energy though. I don't know whatever, like I feel like there was a battle between the Libra Gemini energy last night, and I'm not one to get in the middle of it, but the Libra energy is still very much here. So here we go. We have the temple and the desert, and I just feel like the idea here, seen as a forest, just that idea of what do you worship and why. And whatever it is that you think that you worship, go ahead and put it in your back pocket. It's not what you actually worship. And you're understanding that because I think what you were worshiping wasn't really working out. It was, like it wasn't, it just, something about it didn't feel right. And what you're coming into an understanding of is why it wasn't working out. Because I don't think you were actually honoring it. Now, I do want to close all of this with a statement. Like attracts like. If you're dealing in this energy, you're probably dealing with somebody who is also in this energy. So when I say please take it with a grain of salt, because these are meant for us as individuals so that we can like recognize our own journey within these things, right? It's not a you did this or I did this type of thing. If you're dealing with it, the people who you are around are probably also dealing with it, right? These while they are individual, the energy is not singular. So don't feel like when I say like you're not worshiping the right thing, I almost feel like this sense of, well, you're not worshiping the right thing. this isn't about this isn't about me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that that's not the case, right? Like this isn't about only me, or only you, or only this person, or only, you know what I mean? Like it's an energy that we're all dealing with. But we're going to experience it in different ways. And this is for my Libras. Okay. So, the maiden in the forest. The forest is the idea of uncharted territory, right? I mean, which always kind of was confusing to me because it also carries with it the warning of, like there are friends and enemies alike. And so, like, well, if there are friends and enemies alike, how's it uncharted territory? People are already there. It's something you haven't done before. It's something that I think you've really wanted to do that you haven't done before because you haven't really been honoring the right thing in terms of what you really want for your life, in terms of what you really envision, in terms of what you think of when you're like, well, I'm like, when I'm living my best life in my mind, it looks like this, and this. But all of my energy and attention is focused over here and blah, 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 blah. Right? Okay. So you are, I think, not only just understanding this, but I think experiencing it just feels like a full body experience. Because sometimes, like, we can logically understand something, but our heart's not there. You know what I mean? And until you've turned my heart, you're not gonna change my mind, you know? And I understand that 110%, but I think that you're experiencing a change of heart because I think that it's starting to really, I don't know, I just feel like things are kind of like shifting into place. And when they shift into place, things that didn't make sense. Patterns that weren't recognized are recognized. I mean, I just feel like there's this illumination that you're experiencing. And part of that illumination may be why we had our little talk about it is that it's not just you. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like an attack against you. This is a collective energy, you know, and discussing like a specific energy within that isn't an attack at any point in time. And if it feels like one, let me go ahead and tell you right now, it is never with the intention of being an attack. Okay, Libras. I don't know. I feel like I've made somebody up. Somebody's upset with me, and I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about it, other than try to, like explain everything to the best of my ability. You know, because otherwise, what? Dismiss it, and I don't want to be dismissive. Okay. Leaves. I don't know. Do you ever words? It's such a dad thing, the reclining chair, the recliner. You got to get out of the recliner for this one, like somebody needs something done around the house. That was what that was what popped into my mind, because it just feels like this, like got to get up, got to, like get moving. But it doesn't feel like a fast movement. It almost feels like this, well, it's been long enough. You know what I mean? Like, so many thoughts. Okay. So the 10 of cups. Whatever this realization is for you, whatever this truth is that you are just like, I feel like you fully settled into it in a way that like everything matched your heart, your head, your spirit. You're feeling sincerely aligned, and I'm loving that for my leaves, because I don't think you have felt sincerely aligned, because you felt really frustrated because you were like, why is it that I want this thing and I think that I'm doing all these things for it, and the exact opposite of what I want to happen is happening. You know what I mean? And then you're just kind of like, it's the energy, right? Moving out of that energy. Whew. And into an energy that I think offers an aligned sense of truth that makes you want to go in a direction. I feel like you wanted to go in the direction, but you were like in that recliner. Maybe some of my leaves are recliner people. But I don't know why that's what's coming out. But I feel like you're moving. There's like I feel like this stir and this, okay, maybe some of you guys are talking to your dads about something, and your dad has been really, really like, oh, I don't know, like coming hot, or your husband's, or however it plays out for you. And I feel like you finally convinced them of all of the reasons why you want to do the thing you want to do. And they're like, oh, like I really, this isn't the direction that I wanted you to go in, but I understand, like your passion and your logic and your opportunity, and you know what I mean? And so of course I'm going to support you in that, because dads love them, like, but it almost feels like this, like, I'm going to send you on your way, like a decision to like really do that. Now, for my people who's like, no, my dad's not sending me on my way, but, but, for my other ones, it could be that you're sending yourself on your way. You're just kind of like, I've been hemming and hawing on this. I've been not really wanting to make a decision about this. I've been da 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 da. It's time for me to like separate from whatever it was that I was holding on to, while I was watching what I wanted. I think attempting to maneuver according to what you wanted. And I think ultimately recognizing your efforts, and that if you put all that effort into something, then maybe you should let go of whatever it is that you were holding on to and really move forward. I feel like with the High Priestess is my favorite card. Because the High Priestess has that like psychic intuitive knowing, and practicing. So to take it back to the empathy read again, to practice empathy isn't to just have like empathy and a psychic intuitive knowing are not interchangeable. They're not. Because empathy can feel what's around it, but like a psychic intuitive knowing can understand almost like a puzzle, like what is like the analytics behind it. If you can roll down that path with me, like that is it's the analytics to the like impression, you know. And it's a very different ballgame. It's a completely different like world in terms of that world. And I share that because I think that like you've been operating from a place of empathy, like impression work, to moving into the analytics side of it, where you're actually applying the information at hand. Like people who see an impression is like a digital ad, right? And so people purchase their ad space and they have impressions, and you have click throughs, and an impression is like the most basic, like I saw the ad and now I know that this isn't available to me, right? It's an impression. The analytics behind that are going to tell you how many people saw the ad, how many people clicked through the ad, how much in like return on investment you're seeing for this ad. Like there's the analytics side of it. That's what I mean when I say impressions and analytics. And I feel like you're moving from the empathy to the psychic intuitive knowing. And that's great. Not to like downplay empathy in any way, shape, or form. Empathy is so necessary in this world, and it's not a small thing to be an empath. It can be exhausting to be an empath. Turn the volume up on that times 100 and basic empathy hurts. It does. It does. It's like trying to operate in a quantum physics, world with a 5 plus 5 equals 10 mathematician. Arguably, the 5 plus 5, 10 mathematician is going to be utilizing that math more regularly and whereas like the quantum physics is going to be its own sector, and it's not even, it's apples and oranges. There's not a comparison of superiority or inferiority here in any way, shape, or form. Just an acknowledgement of trying to explain this to the best of my ability. I don't know who's so mad at me right now, but oh my God, I'm sorry. Calm down. Seriously. Jesus H. Christ. Okay. So we have the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, the 5 of Swords. Maybe it's not me that you're mad at. Maybe you're just like feeling really agitated right now, and I'm picking up on it. Because there's just this idea of feeling like you can't win for losing. You don't feel like fighting. You just want to walk away. And I do think that you are walking away from situations that leave you feeling like you're under attack, leave you feel like you're constantly fighting, leave you feeling all of these feels. Because all of your energy has been directed on to areas that weren't actually honoring what you really wanted. And so you weren't ever actually really experiencing what it was that you were sincerely putting effort into. Working on it. You were working on it. And I think that there's an opportunity to bring healing to what it is that you were working on, because there's been judgment passed. And sometimes you just need to pass judgment. Not against people, but in understanding of, like judgment, not being judgy, but passing judgment on a circumstance, passing judgment on a situation, passing judgment. And that's not to say that you haven't done that in your life at all in general. Whatever this specifically is about for you as an individual, you've put forth a great deal of effort in something and it hasn't worked out for you. And you've been really frustrated about like why it hasn't worked out and, like what it's got to be this or it's got to be that. And I think that there's just been this like steadiness though, with awareness of what it is that you still really want. You know what I mean? And how it is that you can actually really get it. And I think that for whatever reason, you get a burr up your ass and you either convince somebody in your life or convince yourself, depends on my lead, that like this is the direction that you need to go now. And that's what you're going to do. And I feel like you step into a different arena of understanding because you're more comfortable with practicing judgment in a healthy sense. Because yes, it can be healthy. Okay. Leaves. Okay. The Destroyer. Let's do another one. The Destroyer is, that, like it destroys something. But that being said, I feel like a point of the conflict, and this is all very much in alignment with everything that we've been talking about, is that excessive empathy, what that means, what that looks like, what that results in, all of those things. That was somehow going to be really, truly honoring what it was that you were intending to do, intending to create, wasn't. And when you realize why this was never going to do anything more than leave you feeling like it doesn't matter what I do, then it's pretty easy to break out of it. Because better things to do than sit around and argue. You know what I mean? Libras. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and sharing your energy with me. If this video does resonate with you, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.